Hello, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. I'm here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip. And we're going to be doing a little tarot today to look into how that recent full moon in Capricorn will be affecting you over the next couple weeks leading up to the new moon in Leo, which kicks off Leo's season. And I did get some initial messages that came in for you, Taurus. The first being that you're kind of coming out of a hermit mode. You know, you spent some time to yourself. I think that you closed a lot of big chapters in your life and you had some things that you needed to just sort of process and integrate emotionally. And so you took some time away from socializing and kind of connecting with people, and we're dropping more into your inner world a little bit to just tie up those loose emotional ends and come to a real place of sort of completion and closure, so you can move forward cleanly on your path. And there's a lot that's come up around this. Not all of it has just been about emotional stuff. It's also been about your work in particular and how you want to move forward with that in the future. I feel like you've been dealing with somebody that's been challenging on the business front. For those of you who are employed, maybe a cantankerous boss, 1:33 on the clock when I said that, somebody that you feel hasn't been very helpful. You go to them with certain concerns and they sort of just like write you off. You've tried to come to terms with this person and they're just kind of a combative energy. And for those of you that are like independent contractors or doing your own thing, I feel like this is somebody that you've conducted business with, and you're just not quite on the same page. What initially felt like it was going to be a good arrangement isn't exactly what you're looking for. I feel like there's something that's in the terms of the contracts you have between you that's just not adding up. It's not adding up financially, as far as your financial returns on the work you're doing for this person. But I also feel that it's a matter of certain things that were agreed upon are kind of being gone back on, and you're starting to really just think like, do I want to continue to do this work I'm doing? Even for some of you, I'm picking that up pretty strongly. Some of you are in a position where you're really feeling like you want to branch out in an altogether new direction. You sort of don't feel very inspired by your current line of work, and you're looking to shake things up a bit. And this is sort of an unusual download, but one of the things that came in was that some of you are considering starting a food truck. You've got this desire to travel, sort of get out there on the road and see different places, experience new things, meet new people, and you want to have this sense of freedom around your work. I think you felt very like penned in and like held back by your work, sort of like put in a box. And I think you're looking to step outside of that box. And this might have come up for you like, oh, it'd be really fun to do like the festival scene, and just have a food truck, go around, check out the music, check out the different events going on, and be able to offer up some good grub and have a good time while I'm at it, make some money and enjoy the show as well, so that's like so Taurus, right? To think about how can we really, have a good time, but at the same time, walk away with a fatter bank account, Taurus is all about value, and I think you are really looking for the most bang for your buck in all areas of life. Like, how can I spend my time most efficiently and also really enjoy how I'm spending my time and have it benefit me, uplift me, take me to like the next level in my life. So there's this energy really coming forward front and center for you, but let's see what else is on deck, okay? When I do call out signs in this read, do be aware that I am speaking of any significant placement in the chart, okay? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, or even if the individual has a full house. I usually only call out signs when a court card appears on the board, because those are actually players involved in the situation. And I also will sometimes call out astrological association with a major arcana card if there's already, you know, that suit on the board, a court card on the board, just to highlight the message, okay? That being said, do understand that people can present themselves as a certain sign, even if they aren't that sign. Maybe they just have those characteristics, okay? Like, for example, maybe somebody's really confident. They're very focused on how they present themselves on a superficial level. And they kind of shine bright and they like to have a lot of attention, okay? That person may not be a Leo, but definitely possess those Leo traits, okay? Leo energy in your field for some reason, not sure what that's about, but brought it forward. This may be somebody in your life that you feel is needing a lot of your attention. This could be the business person that you've been dealing with, you know, since that came in right on the tail end of that, okay? You might be dealing with sort of a challenging Leo in relation to your finances or your business affairs. We got some stuff flying out of the deck here, so we're going to get a look at the picture and see what we got going on for you over these next couple of weeks. You know, this is an important cycle because we're about to kick off that Leo season, as I was saying, on July 28th, okay? And as we move into Leo season with that new moon energy coming in, we're really going to see a lot of things starting to quicken and come to fruition in our lives. You know, seeds that were planted long ago are really going to start to come front and center. We're going to see the investment of our time and energy, how it's paying off in a tangible way. I do think that Leo message and the way it came in, it very well could be about somebody that you're dealing with on a financial level, you know, in business, because we do see the Two of Pentacles here, all right? And I feel like, you know, horses are all about power. They're about power and they're also about moving forward. And I really feel like there's been an imbalance of power in this situation. There's been a little bit of juggling of finances too, trying to come to equitable terms in relation to finances with this person. And I also feel that things have been kind of a little bit in a gridlock sort of place where there's been difficulty coming to some kind of agreement around this. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, we do see there was a holdup, okay, with the Hanged Man in reverse, but you're coming out of that now. I believe there's some important news coming in this regard with the Page of Wands that's going to finally get things moving in this situation. It may come in from a fire sign, okay? Page of Wands, that would be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, okay? We do have another Leo message confirmed there, all right? I do believe there is going to be some forward motion here. Oh, a lot of forward motion, okay? We have Knight of Wands right behind it, okay? So that definitely means there's going to be action taken as a result of a message that comes in. I do believe it's related to somebody with a strong Leo placement in their chart. There's something of a financial business component around this. I think things are going to move forward very quickly. Where they've been held up, there's going to be a turnaround and things are going to start to get going, okay? This does have something to do with long-term stability here though, okay? With this Knight of Pentacles energy, and that is actually your energy, Taurus, okay? It is earth sign energy. It could also be Virgo, Capricorn, okay? But this is like something really tangible that you want to build. You really want to create a sense of stability in your life. You're looking for that growth, you know? You only want to invest your energy, your time and energy in things where there's going to be real tangible growth. I feel like you felt in the past like you spent a lot of time just kind of like hanging around, waiting on other people to like make up their minds about stuff. And I think that you're really over that. You're looking for where the proof is in the pudding, and that's where you're going to put your time, your energy, and your focus, because you're looking to build something really solid with this Knight of Pentacles energy. I do see there's going to be a moving away from this situation that's been a source of stress in relation to your stability, okay? With this Six of Swords energy. You may actually be moving. Sometimes too with this Six of Swords, it can represent a travel picture, you know, traveling over the water specifically. Okay, so you might be moving to live closer to the water, and there's something about this, or you might be taking a trip across the pond. This also came in. You know, maybe you're gonna go and travel to Europe. You know, London specifically kind of comes front and center. Maybe starting point in London and then kind of like making your way all throughout, you know, Europe. This is something coming in. I just got backpacking, okay? So maybe this is something that you all have been curious about exploring. Maybe you've always wanted to have a kind of grand adventure like that. And just now what I heard was Camino Santiago, okay? And if you don't know about the Camino is actually a very spiritual walk where you go and you start. Many people start at different points. It's a pretty intense walk. It takes a while, okay? But some people start in France and, you know, they make their way over all the way through Spain to the ending point. And there is a trek, you know, there is quite a trek, and there's mountain ranges, and it's like a pilgrimage, okay? And a lot of people from all over the world go and do this walk on the Camino. And it's actually a ritual. It's like a ritual of closure, creating closure in your life to step into the new chapter. For this to be coming in like this, it must be speaking to somebody. So I'm going to speak to it, all right? May not be everybody's message, but even if you haven't considered the Camino, maybe there's something there for you, okay? Like, dive into this, you know, go. There's some movies you can watch online about the Camino. Go check it out. Just see what it brings up in you. There's some kind of message here for you all. But with this particular pilgrimage, you go through the pilgrimage, okay? And when you get to the end of it, you go through this like letting go process. There's actually people who do the walk. It's kind of tradition to take the clothes you're wearing, the shoes you wore to do the walk, all of that, and burn it. You know, they burn it as a symbol of like really letting go of the old life. Oh my gosh, I got such intense sentience right now. I'm getting the chills, man. To burn it all is it's very like symbolic of like, okay, I held the space for what I needed to process on this walk, and now I'm ready to let that go. I'm ready to step into the new chapter of my life. So we do see this energy really coming forward here. King of Swords energy. Aries. I said Aries. It shouldn't be Aries though. Isn't that funny? I said Aries, but this is actually air sign element. Okay, so we're looking at Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Okay, you could have one of those signs strongly aspected in your chart, or this could be somebody you were dealing with. It's funny that I said Aries because right behind that we do have the Emperor card. Okay, and that is associated with the sign of Aries. And right behind that we have the Three of Swords, which symbolizes a separation, an ending in a connection, with the Devil right behind that. And look, there's that Ace of Pentacles with the money there, okay? I think there was a lot of hidden elements going on in this situation, a lot that wasn't above board. And this may be speaking of that business situation, okay? Since we were kind of on that track. You know, there's really a lot of binding agreements here. Not all was as it seemed, and financially, you know, you really ended up feeling stuck, okay? I see you doing like a cutting off of this energy in whatever capacity it applies. For some of you, you know, business and romance got intertangled, and this caused a lot of issues, you know, because we do see there's like heartache here that doesn't usually come forward in a straight up like business situation. This usually speaks of, you know, something that really affected the heart. But there's a moving away from this energy, okay? Moving away from this energy. So I think it's kind of a dualistic message here. I mean, some of you, this really applies to a romantic relationship where your money piece got really entangled and complicated. And for others of you, this is just speaking of, the disappointment, and sense of loss of something not working out quite as you planned with your career. Um, in regard to that, it would have to be something pretty fucking deep. Like maybe this is like something that you always envisioned for yourself, and then once you actually got into doing this line of work and pouring your energy into it, you sort of had this epiphany that you're like, this isn't me. This doesn't fit. And maybe that could be. I suppose that could be really like a huge emotional blow, if you sort of like viewed yourself. Through this lens that this is what my success looks like. This is what my path looks like. And then you realize this path doesn't have any heart, and this strong desire to pull away from that and head in another direction. I do feel that is the message for those that are having it hit on a career level. Okay. But it is kind of, even that's dualistic. Like if this is in relationship to some kind of partnership, maybe you had a romantic interest and you two also were developing something on a business level together. That's possible too. Either way, there's like, you discovered this path doesn't have heart, there was a cutting off that occurred there. You might have a lot to process around this, and some people can kind of underestimate how intense it can be, even in terms of career, to have a complete reroute, right? You kind of get used to playing in a certain role, seeing yourself a certain way. And when you go and make a major change like that, it can kind of rock your foundation, especially with as uncertain as things are in the world nowadays, that can really be destabilizing. There might be some grief around that. There might be some heartache around that. But I'm also picking up a little bit of that love piece too. I think sort of like the romantic aspect is actually kind of secondary to how much it changes your view of yourself and where do I go from now. Because I'm saying that because I don't see any cup energy on the board. Yeah, I think this really has to do with you wanting to head into a more creative direction with your work. I'm for somebody, there is this side story though, where you kind of like cross some lines in a business setting, and it kind of created complication and a falling out in that regard. But with this 8 of Pentacles, this is definitely about you really wanting to head in a more fulfilling, gratifying direction with your work and how you earn your living, wanting to bring some creativity into it, wanting to have more free flow, not be so confined, into like set roles or borders, and we see you really stepping up into the Empress energy if you go this route. Okay. This is Libra Taurus energy right here. Okay. But this is about entering a time of abundance and prosperity and really just feeling yourself in your element, creativity front and center. And also Empress energy is about birthing new things. So I think that you're about to birth a new direction in your life. But there is this piece, there's a lot to emotionally process. And with this change, with going through this reroute. And what just came in is that, maybe it's also been challenging with your work because you've had a lot of emotional stuff going on. And in order for you to really feel like you can get focused, refocused with your work in this new direction you want to bring into being, I got sentience with this. You need to make some space to sort of process the emotional stuff you've been through over the past couple of years. I just got. I think that you kind of had to be nose to the grindstone. You've needed to just take care of your responsibilities. You've had to keep on going, and it's interesting because it was 1911 on the clock when I said that. And that makes me think of the new beginning, and then this 911 energy. So I feel I think that that's kind of been your go-to when you've been going through this emotional stuff, when you've felt yourself rocked. We do see you went through something here, with the 3 of Swords. You've been through some kind of emotional grief, emotional loss. And I really feel that, when you went through this, you didn't really have the time to process it. I feel like you had to really just throw yourself into the work and using that almost as a distraction. For some of you too, with this devil energy being here, you may have been doing a lot of shop therapy. Maybe that puts you kind of in a debt situation. And another angle too, you know, with that devil there, overworking, overextending as a way to distract yourself from what was coming up emotionally, certainly, but could also potentially show that there's been some kind of like addictive elements in play too. Either way, I feel like there's something that has not been processed and integrated emotionally because the proper space hasn't been held for that, okay? And you are coming out of this hermit mode, but it's very interesting, this piece about the Camino coming in for you. So some of you might have considered doing that walk as a way to have this pilgrimage, have this time, this space to really sit with all the emotional stuff and come to a sense of integration and closure with it so you can really start out your new cycle strong. And also so you can really pour your energy into this new career direction that you want to give birth to, because it requires that you can stay focused. And I think maybe in some ways your work has suffered because of the emotional stuff that you have been through. You had to be so on, but at the same time, with this emotional stuff not being addressed, you know, it kind of rocked your stability a bit, and that had an effect on your work. So there's this piece about, you know, blocking out time for yourself with this Two of Swords energy here, okay? And we see transformation with the butterflies behind this figure, all right? And also this mirror energy, sort of like deflecting others' energy so you can sink into this like Queen of Cups essence, which is all about a little bit of nurturing, a little bit of time to process emotions, a little bit of time to get in tune with what you're really feeling, what speaks to your heart, and getting in touch with your intuition to guide you forward. I think doing this brings you victory, okay? We got the Six of Wands here. It brings success. It also sees you, you know, striking out in this new direction with your work and really getting some recognition, like being seen for what you're doing, having your time, you know, in the spotlight, having your time of success that's recognized. You know, it's something that you see in a very tangible way in terms of financial return and your personal satisfaction with the work you're doing, but you're also being recognized for that work, and which is always, you know, a wonderful thing. You know, some of you may even get some press, some PR about the work you're doing. We do see you coming to that successful place of culmination with the world, okay? If the world will be your oyster, man, you know, follow your heart. But I think you need to create some space to sort of bring it closer to the stuff you push to the side, and end the work situations, the financial business partnerships where it's not working for you. You do this and it's going to bring you real tangible success. You're going to get that Ace of Pentacles, all right? Probably really see the full fruition of that in the spring. But we do see, you know, if you go in this new direction with your career, if you cut off that, you know, business arrangement that isn't working for you, if you start to align your career more with what really speaks to you on a soul level, you know, what excites you on a soul level, go with the path with heart, okay? And maybe finding out what that is for you by giving yourself some space to process that. Maybe do some kind of letting go ritual around that past grief that distracted you for a while and had you just sort of like numbing yourself out with your work, you know, pouring your energy there instead of really getting in touch with what you needed to feel around what was coming up for you, you know. I think this is very valuable. There is this piece about you got some stuff to let go of, not only practically in terms of arrangements that don't work for you and letting go of certain connections that are just draining your energy and aren't really giving anything back, but there's also this piece of holding space for the emotions that you didn't really get a chance to process and fully integrate. Some of you will be doing that. through going on a trip. It's like this sort of like geographical cure in a way. And this may be part of why you feel like having something more portable that you can take on the road. You sort of just want to get a little bit lost in the world and feel that sense of openness and freedom. You might have felt very stuck and confined for a while, You might have felt stuck in kind of heavy energy, and it might be very appealing to travel and sort of lighten things up and have more free flow in your life instead of this like rigidity that's, kept you in this, structure that hasn't really served you up until now. I see a really wonderful new beginning. We got the Judgment right behind it, okay? So I think you can rest at ease, You might be concerned about, will my security, be there for me if I take this risk to strike out in a new direction? I say absolutely. With the Judgment being in your favor like that, you need to go for it, okay? But do create some kind of closure ritual around the old cycle. There does seem to be this piece that really wants to be addressed and spoken to, Let's see what the top of the deck energy is here. There you go, Taurus. It moves you into the Queen of Pentacles energy. All right, that is on point. Got everything you need. Got your finances in order. There's that Ace of Pentacles in the background there. Really in your element, coming forward real strong. I think we got affirmation here. If you've been thinking about letting, your old way of kind of earning your bread go, I think you're getting a definite yes on that, okay, for moving forward. Look at this. 7 of Wands on the cut of the deck energy, right? I think you've been like defending away for too long that it's really time to let it go, And this is also about, with the 7 of Wands, this is about like letting your guard down, coming more into your emotions, coming more into your feelings, really allowing yourself to get in touch with what's really going on inside. I think that you kind of like defended a post for a long time, and I think that you really like had a lot of pushback around this, okay? We see that there was a lot of disagreement around this post that you were defending, or this position that you were defending, your standpoint that you were defending. We see you moving out of this, you're realizing like there's nothing to compete for here. There's nothing that's worth fighting for here. It's kind of like, I've gotten what I need to get out of this situation, and I'm ready to let this go, and I'm ready to actually, open up. I'm tired of being in this kind of like combative energy. I don't want to have to like defend so much anymore. You may have really had to like stand up for yourself in your business situations. You might have really had to stand up for yourself and deal with a lot of combative energy. And, it's time to kind of like drop that. What are you fighting for anyway? Is it really worth it at the end of the day? I think that you're moving out of that energy, and you're giving yourself an opportunity to see what else is out there, and there's going to be some kind of journey involved with this. I think that the way that you come to the place of really aligning with your purpose and the work you're meant to do in the world, it involves some kind of journey. Something about a journey really opens things up for you, okay? Yeah, whoa! 8 of Cups. I mean, it just doesn't get more clear than that. 8 of Cups is about arriving at a place where it's like the recognition that the path you've been on doesn't have heart. The path you've been on doesn't have heart. And you're needing that. Like, you're needing that at this time. It won't do to settle for less anymore. And it's hard when you get to this place, all right? It's a real emotional choice. The reason why it's so emotional is because you invested a lot of time and energy in this thing. You know, we see that you really were defending your post with that Seven of Wands, but I think you've realized it's okay to give this up. It's okay to let it go. It's okay to move forward. It was a really emotional decision for you, but I see you making it. I see you building a bridge and getting over it. I see you wanting things to just be like, you know, water under the bridge. I just want to move forward into my fulfillment.